You're listening to If You Create It, We Will Play It.
Hi, you're listening to Maria McCormack, and this is the Over the West podcast. Here I'll bring to you artist interviews and lots more. I got to talk to Dara McGowan and Andy Hogg from the 251s. They have a beautiful album called Slave to the Moon that we feature a lot here on Over the West online radio. They talked to me about their songwriting process, what gigs are coming up, basically all things music. I hope you enjoy our chat. I'm joined this evening by Dara and Andy, better known as the 251s. You're very welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You're very welcome. It's lovely because not only just me, but like particularly Frankie as well, has really fallen in love with Slave to the Moon, which is because he's constantly including songs into his live shows on Sunday night, and we've had you in the recommended playlist and playing away just all the time. So it's class, just class. What a find. Like, I just think you're amazing.
Oh, you're so good. Thanks very much. You know, I have noticed that he's put us on the playlist. So very much appreciated. Thanks very much.
No bother. Hey, Jesus, nice music is easy played. Hey, huh?
Well, yeah, you have lots of nice music there. You have good choice. You have a lot of good artists in your artist family.
In the artist family, yeah. Thank you for I put pictures into the artist family, but it's lovely. It's good crack. This, I'm a singer myself, so I know what it's like to be trying to put music out there, and every little helps. I think and to have something.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, and you're delighted with any kind of promotion or anybody that is even listening to you. You are really appreciative and delighted.
Yeah, I know.
It's meant work that goes into it, and just to hear that somebody's playing it back is it's always a little buzz. It doesn't matter who it is. It's just always a buzz. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. I don't think there's nothing better in the world than hearing your song on the radio, and it never gets old, right? It's just class.
Yeah, exactly. Well, especially if you hear it by accident, which I did one day. I just turned on the radio and heard it, and that was quite a buzz. Oh, that's me.
That's me. Yeah, it's class. Oh, lovely. So, you just recently took out Sparks, or talked about taking out, and just the video there tonight I just shared. I was trying to think, I was really taking a good listen to the lyrics tonight. I'd love if you'd give me a wee bit of background on that song.
Right. Well, it's a song that was started back in 2010, and which is quite a while ago. And I suppose it was at that time I was driving up and down to Dublin. My mother was ill, and I was driving up and down every weekend from Cavan. And it just sort of, I suppose it's something that, I was thinking about her, and I was thinking about my daughter, who at the time was about 12 and 13, and just that, different intergenerational relationships where you have, you rub off each other, in the sense of there might be sparks and a little bit of, but underneath it all, you still love each other. There's always the love is there. But so it's kind of like looking at the generations, but also you'll see in part of the song is how you look back and you look forward, but you can actually see yourself in both the older generation and in the younger generation. And it's sort of, it's in the line where does future end and past begin, kind of, because it's in the genes, and you can see the similarities, I suppose, between family. But so it was kind of hidden, that song. It was written so long ago, and then myself and Andy were part of a project with a group that we're in, Monaghan Poets and Songwriters Group, and we were joining up with a group in Dundalk who are visual artists, and the way that worked was that you gave in a piece of your work, either a poem or a song, and then they did a picture of some sort, whether some kind of visual art to go with your piece, and vice versa. Then you need to give something back. So that was one of the songs I picked because we haven't done it before. I thought, well, do this, Andy, would you be able to play guitar for this song? And then he loved it and said, oh, we put that on the album. That's really nice. So that's how it kind of changed the arrangement around a little bit then, because, once Andy got his hands on it, he was like, oh, maybe it'd be better doing a bit of tweaking here and this and that. But, it was all good. And it was really good to give it the light of day, say, it's something that was buried. You do lots of songs, yourself, when you write songs, they're on scraps of paper everywhere, but some of them don't leave. They stay in your head.
Yeah. I love that the melody is different from, obviously it's different from the other, but I just think that it's a real kind of genre change from the other ones on the album.
Yeah, it's more folky, I suppose, folky than we'd be used to. And there's a couple of songs we just got into a folk groove. It's nice to do something different, for sure.
And then you have Hans, then he's not from Cavan, is he? They're on the flute.
Indeed, he's not. We've never even met him.
We don't even know what he looks like.
I've seen him. Yeah, that was, we kind of knew all along that a flute would be really nice on it. Mm-hmm. And, something, we knew we didn't want it to be overpopulated with other instruments, but the flute was something that was in our heads always. And we recorded it with Ben Reel. He's over at, where's he live? South there, man.
Silverbridge.
Yeah, Silverbridge.
Yeah.
So we recorded with him, and he knew, he said, we had actually tried a few other flute players, but they were traditional flautists and they couldn't get with it, it just wasn't suiting them. So it was Ben said, if I have a friend who's over in Holland, sure, maybe he'll do it for you, Mm-hmm. And he played us examples of what Hans had done for him, and we knew then straight away, he's going to do well with this. It'd be lovely. So he's on a couple of the ones that are more folky.
And he, obviously he's enthusiastic about it. It's if you try and get people in who, you're putting a square peg in a round hole, if they're not enthusiastic about it, you prefer not to do it that way.
Yeah, well, that's
people who are
the band sound. I've met Ben a couple of times up here. He's comes up and plays with Mick McCartney up here a lot. So
Yeah.
And
well,
Mick.
I know Mick.
You know Mick too. Yeah. Well, Mick played guitar on all my last album there, so we did.
Yeah.
And then
connection.
The real wee spider's web of us going about the place here.
Yeah, but it's like anything, isn't it? Once you're into something, you kind of, there's always the connections. If you don't know them, you know somebody who knows them. So it's sort of like that.
Have you just come up to play up here, up this direction at all? Or?
No, we've never been up in Donegal place.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet, exactly. I'm thinking they just put I think they put an announcement out there for the Dunfanaghy Jazz and Blues Festival. It might be something, because I know Ben comes up, he plays at that. I've played at it, and I think it'll be something, they've, like every festival, there's lots of different venues throughout the town. So I'll get you details of that after and see if that would be.
Exactly.
So what do we see now? What do we see now? Where am I? I'm half sleeping here, these wains. Where did the name come from as well? That was another question, the 251s, because I'll tell you a funny story about that, right? Just before you tell me. Paddy G on the Monday Club played one of your songs one night, right? And this new listener that we have from Belfast, she contacted the page. And that night I was, I must have gone ahead. I was doing dishes or something. And I said, Frankie, somebody's messaging here and they're wondering the band, the 251s. Now I must have been half sleeping, but it was the way they wrote it in like numerals, 251s. So it just didn't click with me at all. So I'm like, I don't know who they are, because it was just visually.
Who's that?
Yeah, but so anyway, you have a new fan up in Belfast as well, threw over the.
That's great. Yeah, more the merrier.
But it was really funny. But yeah, where did the name come from?
Well, 251s, it's a chord progression.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a way. It's a notation. So when musicians, certain types of musicians talk about the chords, there's a 2 and a 5 and a 1. They all mean different chords. So the jazzy type of music that we started playing, there's lots of what you call 2-5-1s, this chord progression.
Okay.
And an awful lot of the songs are made up of that type of chord. So, and they're normally written as numerals, 2 and a 5 and a 1.
Wow.
So musicians will talk to each other. There's a 2-5-1 at this part of the song. And it always ends on the 1 chord, which is the home chord. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I feel really bloody stupid now that I'm supposed to be a musician and I asked that question.
Well,
it's jazzy, though. It's jazzy.
It's not, I mean, lots of musicians don't use that notation at all. But it's just, and I'll tell you who the first person who ever mentioned it to me was Mick McCormack. I said, I said to him, how on earth do you do that? He was playing some wonderful stuff on the guitar. And I said, how do you do that? And he says, well, the first thing you need to know is your 2-5-1s.
I can hear him say that.
Yeah. And I took that to heart. And, it was a great approach.
Cool.
Once you get that under your belt, the 2-5-1s, the way the chords run into each other.
Yeah.
And you ask Mick about it the next time you see him.
Well, I will, because we always have such a handling with me in the studio, because I'll write the songs in my little simple way, and then I'll go down to Billy Robinson and Mick will be there, and I'll have written them, I'll have my chords to it, and then next thing they'll start probably doing something like 2-5-1s to it, because they're going, you can't keep doing that, Marie, you can't. Well, that's funny.
Yeah. It's all a process, isn't it? You've got to, each person puts their own thing in.
Yeah.
We do that. We say, well, I might force Dara to change that part of the song, and she'd say, no, it's going to stay that way. So then I'd try and get her to change another part of the song.
Yeah, I find it very difficult.
Sometimes it works. But no, sometimes I do willingly change.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, isn't it, Dara? To give anything. I'm a bad for that. Me and Frankie has tried to write a couple of songs together, and I'd be like, I don't like his idea, and I'd be like a child going, I don't want to change it. I like it that way. And but
I think if I've a song a long time, say something like Sparks that's been written for like 10, 11, 12 years. Then you get a little bit precious about them because that's the way you always sang them, But if it's something new, I'm not so precious. I'm very open to change then. Or obviously, if we're doing something together, then you're more kind of flexible because it's happening as you're, it's unfurling, I suppose. As opposed to something that has already bloomed, but it hasn't blossomed.
Yeah. And if you've been doing it a certain way for a long time, don't go changing it because everyone will just get confused.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's the way
that's true.
Yeah, so really, like if I have a song that I have for a long time, what Andy might just say is like, it would be better if you brought in the chorus again there because that's a really good hook. Bring it back in, and you'd be right. Maybe it needs it more of it, and maybe less of verses because I could have a tendency to write a big ream of verses. A song that goes on for 10 minutes.
That's right, and my fingers get tired after a while.
Doing that 2-5-1.
So you might have to fix that. Yeah, so there's a bit of that. There's a bit of that goes on. Yeah, where you have to kind of pick and choose. But yeah, a lot of it is, if you are it's easier also for him to follow a format. So it might be like AAB or whatever, like verse, chorus, verse, something like that, or then wherever you stick it in the middle eight. So it's kind of looking at the formula so you're able to remember as well what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. When you're performing it.
You know what I mean? Whereas I'll remember because I wrote it, but if it comes to then him playing it, it's a lot easier to remember, okay, we verse, chorus, then we'll do an instrumental that's a verse length, and then another verse, chorus, or something like that. You're just kind of looking at what way it'll be easiest for us to remember.
Well, keep it simple. That's
and also the hooks, not to ignore the hooks. The hooks are there. You want the hooks to be heard, and to be catchy.
And come here, tell me now about the writing with Charlie McGettigan. There's 2 of the songs on Slave to the Moon that you...
Two of the songs. That sort of came about again. It was just one of those things. It was actually before COVID where I had a song I was writing while I was driving to work. Everything goes into my head first before I write down. I don't know how you write, but yeah, I'm either the car or the shower is most of the time. And it's mostly the car. And if you turn off the radio and you're thinking of something, then you might get the tune and whatever. But I was writing the song again. It was something that was quite emotional for me, and I couldn't finish it. And I asked him, would he help me finish it? That's how that started. But it's neither of the two songs that's on the album. It's funny because then he really enjoyed doing that one with me. So he said, send me some more. So what happened then is I sent on, he wanted something kind of jazzy. I think it was something that You Can't Disguise was the next one that came out. And then, what's the other one that's there? Oh, Life's Too Short. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was one that I would have had. He tends to, though he likes to change the whole tune completely, So the words were there, but he changed the tune quite a bit. But it was for the better. It was fine. And then he kind of mixed and matched the words. Some like a lot of them are what I had written, and then he would have changed some of them up, whatever, So it worked out well. It was just gas that we were doing all that before COVID. Here we were sending emails with sound files back and forth before COVID came in. And you think about it, what you would have done is met in person if you'd have known you were going to be locked in for so long.
And what I think
was really
just
nice was
like COVID was this was 4 years ago. Someone just this week just kind of going, that was 4 years ago. What has happened?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I know. It's mental. And 2 years ago then with the whole Ukrainian thing. So it's just. Yeah. It's funny, even when you look at your children, the age of them, they're all within that era, aren't they?
Totally.
But what was good anyway with Charlie was that he did come over and he launched the album for us last July. And that was really nice because then we got the video, which was mental getting that done at the same time. Andy says never again.
Wow.
No, not because of Charlie. It's more the rush. No, not so much stuff at one time.
Not just quite the way we did it. There was a lot happening. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Stressful.
No, that's right. And you were trying to get the video done before the crowd came in, and then get the crowd applauding afterwards, and it was all of this going on.
And getting your light sound and all these things.
And the lighting. Don't talk to me about lighting for that one. But anyway, it was kind of, you were doing your own sound for that gig, you were doing your own lighting, and then tried to do the video, setting up the place, and it was just all that. But look, we got there in the end, and it was a brilliant gig. It was full to the brim, and it was lashing rain, as you see in the video. It was biblical, the rain, which actually was brilliant. Everyone said afterwards the rain was great.
Yeah, that it added to it.
Because it wasn't just an old squally old rain, it was biblical. Absolutely. On the tin roof, so it was, it was cool. Yeah.
I'd love to go and play there myself. I've seen a lot of people have played there. It's a cool wee
we're doing it again in July. We've booked in for, I think it's the 13th of July.
Yeah.
We're back there. So it's kind of, that's what you kind of end up doing. Go back to the places that you like and you fill out back there again. Yeah. So
exactly.
Yeah. So
that's happening in July. And anything else coming up now in the summertime?
We do a gig in my barn, which we've been doing since 2017, which is a dress-up speakeasy. So that is like 1920s to 50s. Everyone dresses up, and it's only friends and friends of friends get invited. But we consider you a friend now.
Where does this be?
I have a converted cowshed called the parlour, I suppose it is, considering it's where people gather, and also where cows used to be milked.
The byre, we would call it.
So that downstairs in it, we hold an event which is like, we've built a little stage, and we always have loads of guests. And actually, Tommy Keys would have been last year. You remember? You would have been on the Darky ones, Darky Kelly ones.
Mm-hmm.
So last year was Tommy Keys, and this year Elena Duff. I don't know if you know Elena.
Yeah.
Darky as well. So we have a lot of guests anyway, including my daughter and including our double bass player, Alex. And
we have a French singer
a French singer that comes. Well, she sings in French.
Well, she's a French lady who sings in French.
And she has another flavour, which is lovely. But everyone installed the lines in their nice 1920s type stuff or 30s or whatever. And then we have a photo studio upstairs, which the bass player is also an amazing photographer. So he had like the whole studio set out and loads of props, hats and feather boas and, you know, the coupes, like the proper champagne glasses, you know, for photos. So it ends up like being, it's kind of kept really secret until it's over, and then there's photos everywhere. People are going, what happened there? Where did that happen? You know, so
the elite.
Yeah, I usually just send it out like in, you know, to people I know, because I don't put it out on, you know, social media.
And lots of people come back to it.
Oh yeah, you've got a lot of repeat people.
Yeah, so that's lovely feedback to get. Yeah. People want to come back to something like that.
It's great now because we're finding, you know, it's not as hard to sell the tickets now. What's happening is it's selling out easier. You know, I think we've only a couple left, and it's not for another few months. So it's only
that's brilliant. Left. That is brilliant.
Yeah, that's progress. You know, compared to banging your head off a wall and pleading with people, please come. You know, so yeah.
I kind of see.
So that's the next one, really. Next big one.
Sorry, when is the next one?
That's the next. That's the next big one. That's in May. That's the 18th of May. And you know, we've a few other small things in between that we do. We've been going up and down to Dublin to a couple of things as well. But that's the main. And then we've got the Tin Church again in July. You know, we're booked in for the Dundalk Oriel Centre. That's the jail. It's a jail that is now a venue. Mm-hmm. So we did that last November. Again, it was speakeasy fashion where people could dress up, but not as strict about it. You could come in your ordinary clothes. But anyone last year who came in their ordinary clothes is saying, I'm dressing up next year. Yeah. Because they've seen the ones dressed up and totally hell for leather, dancing up the front and what have you. Mad. So again, that was a 4-piece. You know, we add on to the band for ones like that. Mm-hmm. So we had Alex again, double bass, and we had a man who plays also and soprano sax. So,
yeah.
Dundalk, I love Dundalk. There's something about up there. There's a great spirit up there. Not just the spirit.
They love the music.
I didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, they love the music. There's lots of great musicians in Dundalk, I have to say. Yeah, really good.
They're a good bunch.
And we did a bit of busking, almost busking a few weeks back in a market.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've never done anything quite like that.
No, we hadn't bussed before, but this is kind of where they give you a few bob and they give you enough to cover your expenses and you bus. And so we really enjoyed it. We're going to go back there and do that in May again. So
where was that? Newmarket?
The Blue Bell Market in Dublin. Kind of the Green Door, I think it's called.
The Green Door, yeah.
So just a really nice organic market with, you know, lots of lovely organic fruit and veg, and then other kind of maybe candles and home knits or whatever. Yeah. You know, it's very organic with lovely cafes and restaurants in it as well. It's small now, but it's been on the go for years. And like a friend of ours who had played it for 9 years, she's been playing there. But you're on the road and they just call you up at the spit, like, you know, any of them, you're on a list and they just ask you, you know.
Well, it's lovely to get back to what we did before, like just guitar and vocals and just play it for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
That's.
And we haven't bussed before, and it's very different. You know, there is a little kind of, you feel like a live jukebox or something, and people put the money and you feel like you come up a level.
Oh, there's someone standing there. I used to do a market. Yeah. I set up years ago a singer-songwriter we stage in a market here, and we loved it. It was so much fun, and there were so many people kind of cut their teeth in performing on that stage that are way big now. Like we don't have anything as nice as that anymore. Letterkenny, the markets have all stopped, but no, they are good fun. Do you be up and down to Darkies? You mentioned it there. You be up and down to Tommy, and you've got a song.
Yeah, we're back there in April
with you.
Yeah. We're back in April. I think it's April 9th or something like that. We're back there, you know. Yeah.
It is, yeah. April 9th.
And you're on his latest album?
We just seem to have it. Yes, I'm on the last. I'm in 3 of them now, I think. Yeah, 3. So his last 3. Yeah, he just keeps getting me back. So yeah, it's nice.
That's brilliant, darling.
So I just I kind of duet with him on like one song for each album. I've been duetting with him, but and then myself and Andy have recorded 2 of the songs on our album are his songs, which originally, like, he kind of, one of the first one, if we've got time, he said, "Oh, I really thought of you when I wrote this, maybe you'd like to sing it." And we did, and then we recorded it, but he brought it out on an album before we even got to do that. And then there was another one, Sunday Morning, which went on his next album after that, and we put it on ours as well. So basically he got 2 albums out before we got ours together.
Oh, Lord Seamus. He has a lot now, doesn't he? He put up something.
Oh, he does. He's got 7 or 8. It's like one a year nearly he churns out.
He's good on him.
So yeah, we've recorded 2 of them, of his songs, and they're on the album as well. And they're the same 2 that I'm singing with Tommy on his.
Yeah, he's happy to let us do our own thing.
Oh yeah, we do our own interpretation. Like, it's different because he's got the full bells and whistles, he's like, Richie Buckley on saxophone, and you know what I mean, he hires the best, and like string quartets and everything, but look at we're grand peeled back, and it works for us.
It's lovely. There's something about being peeled back. I've just setting up this here wee studio here, and teaching myself how to do the recording, but I'm kind of going back to my own albums that were all, I have Richie Buckley on a song too, but it was Billy got him for me. But I just love just singing myself to the guitar as they were kind of written. It's kind of nice to do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
there is something nice about it. Yeah.
I'm just seeing here. Just remove that out of the screen. So you're gonna I'll contact you after the show and just to see about, or after the chat about see about coming maybe to Donegal, if we could get you up here to the Dunfanaghy Jazz and Blues. I think that would be fabulous. Since now we've got a load of new fans up here now for the 251s. And yeah, and when I'm on the road properly here, get you up as well. There's a few different nights that are really good here in Letterkenny and Rathmullen. So whenever you do come up, we'll have to have you organise that, just perform at them couple of things as well. If we can do that, and we'll have more crack, and whatever I can do for you here and over the West, I'll do my best for you. And thank you for taking the time to chat to me.
You've been brilliant, and you've been great. It's great to get such good plugs, and obviously you're gaining us lots of fans.
Well, I hope so. And look, we're only at the beginning stages. Wait do you see when I put it out there properly? It's going to go mad. Hopefully. Right, I'll.
At some stage, we might get to do a bit of a blues number with you.
Oh, that would be gorgeous, huh? I have a few songs there that are a bit bluesy. I actually have a song that I have never recorded. And it's like a 12. Is it called a 12-bar blues? Is that what you call it? I'm really, really bad at them things.
Well, maybe it is. Yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
We haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, I know. I don't right now. I need more sleep, guys. Honest to God. So do you know what? That could be done. We could head over to Ben Reels there and get it recorded.
Well, the thing about the blues is everyone can jam it together. No, it's because people know the format of it.
Yeah. Well, who knows? I'll do a wee recording of it here, and I'll send it your way, and you can see what you think of it.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? I'm going to say good night for now to you, and we will do this again. Maybe in another few months, we'll have another chat and see what's happening with you.
Sadly.
Yeah, great.
We might get an in-person meetup in between.
Yes, please God.
Yeah.
together. Sometimes we're like stormy weather. You push me higher, right to the wire, and I don't know where this is going. We keep fighting, yet we're growing. We're so different, yet the same. We're just people, different names. And I don't know if I can fight it, 'cause I'm bursting inside, trying to hide it. And now I can't see black from white when my eyes are so shut tight. Sparks fly when we rub together. You question, I say whatever it takes to get us there. Everywhere and nowhere. And I don't know where this is going. We keep fighting without knowing. And now I can see black from white when I step into the light. And then I look at you and I see me somewhere where I want to be. And it's somewhere where I once have been, where does future end and past begin? Sparks fly when we rub together. Sometimes we're like stormy weather. You push me higher, right to the wire.
You're listening to
Over the West Online Radio.
If You Create It, We Will Play It.